The Turks had a massive impact on much of Europe, and because of their nomadic tribal lifestyle, the ancient Turks came into contact with many great different cultures and beliefs. Since they were not originally from Europe, Turkic gods and mythological creatures were very distinct from the myths around them. Nevertheless, they have influenced and have been influenced by the cultures around them. While Turkey's modern neighbors such as Greece had complicated gods and myths filled with drama and small quarrels, while Turkic gods are relatively simple and straightforward. Given that they were nomadic, the Turks also seldom built statues and temples to their gods. However, many deities and stories have been lost to time and conquests. The nomadic Turkic tribes adapted and changed myths according to their own beliefs and social structures, so it's uncommon to find a single fixed god or myth. With that in mind, let's delve ourselves into the ancient Turkic people's most important gods. Tengri, in the convictions of the ancient Turks and Mongols, all life existing on earth is dependent upon him. They considered him to be the manifestation of a celestial beginning, the maker of the universe, and the spirit of the sky. It was Tengri who initially showed up as a preeminent god, situated in a celestial zone of the universe, managing the destinies of whole people groups and their rulers. The actual appearance of Tengri was unknown, and he was viewed as immortal and boundless like the blue sky. Tengri was the essential divinity of a pantheon of divine beings related with different aspects of human life and natural phenomena. Ancient Turks and Mongols believed that Tengri administered all presence on earth, deciding the destiny of people, just as that of whole countries. Turkic and Mongol rulers based their power on a mandate from Tengri, addressing themselves as his children on earth. At the point when a ruler lost power, it was viewed as a sign that he had not acted in amicability with celestial law. Tengri was ubiquitous, and was adored essentially by lifting the hands upwards, and bowing low. Some prayers consisted for him to bestow good mind and health, and to help with performing great deeds. It was the person's obligation to start those great deeds, and to deliberately live in concordance with natural law and the spirits of nature. Tengri was believed to act of his own volition, however with decency, dispensing rewards and punishments. It was believed that Tengri assisted those who revered him, and who were active in trying to accomplish his will. Erlik is the portrayal of evil in the old Turkic belief system. He has been exiled from the sky and the earth and lives in the underworld, where he controls it from a silver seat inside a green palace made of iron. The narrative of how Erlik was expelled from the sky is shockingly like that of Adam and Eve. According to the story, Ülgen created humans from 9 branches of a tree. He tells these people that they can eat the fruit from 5 branches of this tree, however the excess 4 branches are prohibited. Erlik tricks the male Turkic and the female Is into thinking that these branches are not forbidden, so they can eat as much fruit from them as they want. Erlik waited for the snake that guards the tree to go to sleep, and then he climbed the tree and picked the fruit for the humans. At the point when Tengri acknowledges what has occurred, he reviles Is into conceiving an offspring and encountering all the aggravation, and he rebuffs Turkic by making him produce however many kids as he ought to make the entirety of mankind. Erlik, in the meantime, is expelled from the sky and the earth, while the snake is rebuffed by making it the encapsulation of insidiousness, something to be stepped upon by individuals. Both Turkic and Is are exiled from the sky and compelled to live on the earth. Erlik is portrayed as an old being who is athletic and strong. His hair, eyes, and eyebrows are completely dark. His facial hair, which has become down to his knees, resembles a snake's tongue. He additionally has horns, an enormous dark moustache that goes straight up to his ears, and wavy hair. He additionally carries a big shield and uses a huge blade. It is said that he rides a black horse, or sometimes a black ox. Ülgen, in Turkic mythology, symbolizes goodness, welfare, abundance, and plentiness of food and water. The birch tree was regarded as a cosmic axis between earth and sky, and was directly connected and as sacred to him as was the horse, since horse sacrifice was a part of his worship. Furthermore, he created the earth, heaven, and all living beings. In addition, he controls the atmospheric events and movements of stars. He created the land for people to live on, and both humans and animals, and the rainbow. He was regarded as the patron god of shamans and the source of their knowledge. It is believed that Ülgen was created from Tengri, and is the highest deity after him. Sometimes Ülgen is compared with Tengri, and they are thought to be the same deity. Ülgen is the enemy of Erlik, who is the god of evil and darkness, from whom Ülgen protects humankind against. Ülgen lives in a golden palace on the 16th floor of the sky above the stars, beyond the sun and the moon. People can never reach him, except shamans or kams. There is a large variety of animals are used for sacrifices in his honor, especially horses. Once every 3rd, 6th, 9th or 12th year, shamans sacrifice a white horse as the initial ritual to reach Ülgen for his spiritual guidance. Gün Ana is one of the most powerful Turkic deities, and she is the goddess of life and fertility, warmth and health. She is patroness of the unfortunate, especially orphans. She lives on the 7th floor of the heavenly sky and is regarded as the sun goddess. A sun goddess or sun god is a sky deity who represents the sun, or an aspect of it. Usually by its perceived power and strength. Gün Ana took part in the creation of Earth by bringing the light of the sun to humanity. Solar rays are also considered to be strings between the spirits of plants, animals and humans. Turks who worship Gün Ana turn towards the sunrise when praying. And she is depicted with glowing yellow skin. Gün Ana is mentioned in one of the earliest written sources on Turkic mythology. According to Turkic traditions, the powerful god Kira made the sun and the moon, and threw them into the sky. Gün Ana and Ayata then became the sun and moon deities. In a particular Turkic folkloric epic, Kizagan and his wife are supposed to be the children of the sky and the air, which is the land, from which Ayata, who lives on the 6th floor of the sky, and Gün Ana, which lives on the 7th floor, are their representatives in the sky. Kizagan is the Turkic god of war, and he's frequently portrayed with a sword or bow in one hand and a horn in the other. On many occasions, he was also depicted as a young man with a helmet and a lance, riding a red stallion, or camel. Typically, a war god in mythology is generally connected with territorial battles and bloodshed, which is associated with conflict, and viewed as a fierce and powerful god. As one of Kira's children, he is portrayed as being incredibly strong, and he lives on the 9th floor of the sky. It is believed that he also helped war officers secure their victory during many conquests. On particularly risky missions, Kizagan provided aid to the conflict exertion by leading the military and conquering the foe. The word Kizagan means angry or fierce in Turkic dialects. The root word kiz contains the importance of the color red and anger. As the old nomadic Turkish clans were for the most part comprised of fighters, this god played an important role in their way of life. It is believed that Kizagan invigorates the heroes and fighters and causes them to feel strong and invincible. When the Altai shaman rose to the sky, he called to the god Kizagan by shouting, "Father with a red halter, on a red male horseback, with a rainbow scepter," as acknowledgement of his immense influence over the aspects of war. Ana, the White Mother or Pure Mother, is a shamanic Turkic sea goddess. Although the White Mother is not always bodily depicted, she is portrayed as a blue-tailed mermaid with a crown of deer antlers on her head, which implies strength and divinity. According to myth, during the time when the entire universe consisted of an endless plain of water, the god Ülgen flew eternally over the waters in the form of a bird. After thousands of years of flying, Ülgen got tired and looked for a place to rest. After beholding this sight, Ana raised her sacred self out of the water, and proposed to Ülgen that it was the ideal opportunity. He created land and life. Ülgen noted obediently and created the land and made life on earth as we know it. In spite of the fact that she assumed a significant part in creation, we never see her again in stories. She is said to live in the Mediterranean Sea, and it is believed that starfish swim or float around her. In some different stories, it is said she sometimes rises out of the water as a deer, or any other horned animal. In Turkic mythology, deities are usually associated with an animal, from which the deer is the representation of the White Mother. Many folk tales reveal to us that water is the underlying condition of everything in presence, and it uniformly led to both unfamiliar and threatening components. Furthermore, water was the possessor of spirits and the passageway into the other realm, which was directly associated with Ana. Lastly, there's wisdom in her caveat to Ülgen when she warns him about the power of the spoken word by saying, "As creator, learn these sacred words. Always say, 'I made it and it happened.' Do not utter any other word. When creating, never say, 'I tried but failed.'" Ana motivates us consistently on the force of conviction, positive activity and taking advantage of the imaginative power inside of each and every one of us. Umai Ana is a Turkic mythological figure who protects children, pregnant ladies, newborn forest creatures and warriors. There have been discussions regarding if she is a goddess. However, many believe her to be the main divinity after Tengri, in Tengrism beliefs. Umai Ana is portrayed as a moderately aged lady, with 3 horns and silver hair that goes to the ground. There are times where Umai descends to the earth from the sky where she resides, and she is portrayed as a graceful swan or a white female horse. She can camouflage herself as the bird Huma, which is believed to be the bird of paradise. She is the proprietor of the tree of life, and appropriates wealth to the earth. Individuals who are without children make rituals to her, in anticipation of being blessed with a newborn child, given that she is the goddess of fertility. One of the attributes of Mother Umai is that she would sit next to mothers during labor. In the event that the newborn child was smiling, it was believed that Mother Umai was in their essence. According to another myth, Mother Umai used to put milk from the heavens on the lips of the infants to give them a spirit. The ancient Turks have a particular folk tale concerning how Mother Umai brought up 12 little girls. It is believed that when Mother Umai needs to raise the ground, she transforms these 12 little girls into mountains, so they can be seen from all the surrounding regions. In the event that they are dealt with kindness by humankind, wealth and riches will go to those around them. However, if mankind doesn't approach them with deference, and rather hurt the mountains, along with the encompassing lakes and prolific regions, they will be reviled until the obliteration of the world.